The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Maricela Kelleton with the news. In this edition, Right Coast makes history with female MP. Sinai explains two declarations, and Gunemba appeals for more support. The bail application for the 40 accused of the Pira accident in New Island Province was denied by the TVWAN District Court on Wednesday, August 10. The 40 were arrested and charged for the chaos that ensued after the July 26 declaration of the Namatanai open seat. 40 men were detained by police at the Konos Rural Police Station cells in New Island on Monday, the 8th of August, for the unrest at Pira on July 26th. National Alliance Party supporters allegedly attacked supporters of Namatanai Open's third runner-up, where properties were destroyed, burnt, and people were wounded. On Wednesday, the 40 accused were taken to the TVWAN District Court but were refused bail due to the nature of offences committed. The indictable offences included armed robbery, which is out of the District Court's jurisdiction to grant bail under Section 4(1)(b) of the Bail Act. 8 charges were laid against each offender, including armed robbery, arson, willful damage of properties, and assault in the form of threat, grievous bodily harm, and violence. The District Court advised that the only option is to apply for bail at the National Court level. However, there will be no National Court sitting until September, which leaves them with the option to seek bail application at the nearest National Court location in Kokopo. Their lawyer called for the court to reconsider on the grounds that an amount of 24,000 kina was deposited into the public monies account on Tuesday, 9th of August, upon an arrangement done with the TVWAN police station commander. However, that was denied as the PSC has no power to give police bail due to the seriousness of the offences. According to New Island Provincial Police Commander Chief Inspector Felix Nebanat, the arrangement was done without his knowledge and consent. PPC Nebanat further outlined that it was questionable according to the provisions of the Bail Act, which stipulate that indictable offences cannot be accorded police bail. The suspects will be remanded in custody at the TVWAN Correctional Services to await their next mention on the 12th of September 2022. Meanwhile, police investigation is still ongoing, with more suspects and witnesses expected to be rounded up, while court files for the first 40 are being prepared for the next mention. At the opening of the 11th Parliament, Prime Minister James Marape delivered his inaugural speech as according to the Parliament. Marape acknowledged the presence of the Governor for New Island Province, Sir Julius Chen, for his long service to the government, referring to him as the last man standing.
Prime Minister James Marape paid tribute to those leaders, mothers and fathers who had gone before in making of the nation of Papua New Guinea, making special mention of Sir Julius Chen as one who still remains.
Today, on behalf of all parliamentarians on both sides, I just want to say thank you very much. And I want to wish him a long life, good health, as he begins yet again another term of Parliament, the 11th Parliament, with all of us.
Marape said he wanted this to be put on record in the Hansard his sincere thanks for Sergey's long distinguished service to the National Parliament and to the country in his capacities as Prime Minister, State Minister, Member for Namatanai, and now Governor for New Ireland. Governor Sir Julius Chen, in congratulating the Prime Minister, acknowledged him as a very humble man portrayed by his actions, both in paying tribute to him as if to one who is already gone, and for visiting him when he was recovering from illness at his home.
I don't know how to thank you, Prime Minister, but when you were talking, I pinched myself first. Touching me, am I still alive? Because those kind of eulogies, those kind of praise are rarely made during your lifetime. They're only made when you're already somewhere else.
Sir Julius then congratulated the Prime Minister on his unanimous election. Frida Kana, TVWAN News.
Electoral Commissioner Simon Sinai, in a statement released Wednesday evening, clarified the position of the Commission on the declarations made for Makam and Kaboom under the special circumstances provision of the organic law. He said wider consultation was required to make a decision on accepting the writs for both open seats.
All the ballot books out.
Electoral Commissioner Simon Sinai said the decision to declare the leading candidates of the two electorates of Makam and Kaboom in Morbe province, following burning of ballot papers and destruction of the counting centers and property, was made after careful consideration. Mr. Sinai said the decision was not taken lightly. He said wider consultation was required. Sinai said he had to consult lawyers of the Commission, seeking legal advice, whilst also dialoguing with the EC senior management team, the provincial election manager and respective returning officers for the affected electorates before a decision to accept the writs for Makam and Kaboom was made. The Commissioner said the destruction of ballot papers and the counting centers were pre-planned to sabotage the electoral process by disgruntled candidates and their supporters, particularly to disturb and deny the leading candidates from winning. The Commission expressed that conducting a supplementary or by-election for these two electorates would give the impression that the EC is surrendering its powers and authority to criminal elements. The Commission says these incidents are first of its kind in PNG, and the decision they take now as the election management body must serve as a deterrent so such actions are not repeated in the future. Meantime, Commissioner Sinai urges electoral officials in those electorates that are still counting to speed up and complete counting before Monday, August 15, and have the remaining writs returned. Sinai appealed to all leaders, political parties, candidates and scrutineers and their supporters to respect the electoral process and allow counting to progress until the remaining seats are declared. Member-elect for Raikos district in Medan province is a female making history in the district and province. Cassie Sawang arrived in Port Moresby on Wednesday afternoon, accompanied by People First Party leader Richard Maru. She was met by the party chairman and members as well as members of her family, media and well-wishers.
Cassie Sawang, member-elect for Raikos district in Medan province, is the second female elected to the 11th Parliament. Ms. Sawang arrived on a chartered Tropic Air flight from Medan, accompanied by an elated People First Party leader and member for Yangoru Sausia, Richard Maru.
Our party is extremely grateful that the people of Raikos have chosen to elect a woman, a very highly educated professional woman from the district. She stood last time and came third, and we're so happy that she was able to win the race this time around. We thank God for giving us the win. We believe that we should have more women in Parliament. We worked very hard to win that seat, and I'm so grateful to God that and the people of Raikos that they have now delivered us the victory.
Sawang expressed deep gratitude to the people of Raikos for giving her the win to represent them. She said for the last 47 to 50 years, Rycoast has missed out on development and services, but in 2022 they decided to vote for service in the vote for Sawang as the MP.
Deeply grateful to them. I dedicate the win to them. I dedicate the win to my family, my dad, my mom. They've gone ahead. They're not here to witness this very special moment, but I dedicate the win to them, to my family, to my party, People First Party, the faith that they had in me and they supported me through the journey. I dedicate this win also to all my friends throughout Papua New Guinea.
Sawang was then taken to Lolowata to meet the Prime Minister. Frida Kana, TV1 News.
TV1 News continues after the break. Stay with us.
With BSP Internet Banking, you can enjoy your banking at home, at work, or wherever you are. BSP Personal Internet Banking allows you to view your accounts and transactions, transfer money, bill pay, schedule future payments, or access your bank statements. Visit your nearest BSP branch to register now. BSP Internet Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSP, our bank, our people.
When you're spending time with family, when you've got a big day ahead, when you have given it all you've got, when you're putting on a feast, that's when you want the best. That's when you want flame rice. New flame rice. Win him, Olgeta.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo in milk taste and added nutrients, Milo in milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG and Mia. Find PNG made.
Open it.
He says the best Hunters players come from his region. So does she. But there's one thing that brings everyone together. SP Lager. Bungum Yumi. Cheers to 70 years.
Welcome back. Pioneer MP for Thalassia District in West New Britain Province, Freddie Kumai, has prioritized law and order as a key priority area apart from education and health. Kumai wants to unite his people through his policies.
Sworn into Parliament as the Member of Parliament on Tuesday by Chief Justice Sergio Salika, Pioneer MP for the new Thalassia District, Freddie Kumai, wants to transform the Thalassia District by prioritizing law and order and change the perception of the people in the district. He said law and order has been a problem for successive governments.
One of my priorities now at this time is to address the law and order situation in Campbelltown. If I were to think of developing the electorate, the foremost thing is to address the law and order situation. That concern also extends to Thalassia local level government as well. We have a lot of outstanding issues within the Thalassia local level government in the last almost 30 or 40 years. And the law and order situation was not being properly addressed by the successive government. I don't know, for some reasons that law and order was not given any priority in the last successive governments. So it is one of my number one priority now is to make sure that law and order is properly addressed within the town, Thalassia local level government, and Balivitu LLG as well.
Mr. Kumai also mentioned health and education as priority areas. He intends to subsidize fees for students from elementary to tertiary across the 3 local level governments.
We put more resource into the education of our children. More funding will be allocated to early childhood and elementary school. This is the foundation of our children. So we want to make sure that the kids are properly developed at an early age. And then that support will also go all the way to the primary and secondary schools and onto the college or university level.
Health facilities will be attended to with refurbishments so that people can access better healthcare services. Freddie Moe, TVWAN News.
Meantime, the Thalassia MP will be talking with board members of the District Development Authority in the coming weeks to move the district headquarters back to Thalassia Station.
The Thalassia Ring Road has been neglected in the last 40 years. You wouldn't believe how the people of Thalassia struggle to come into town. So this is some of the challenges that I'm taking note of, including our district rural hospitals or health centers, health services. Most of the health services that we have today, including the community health post, haven't met the required standard of serving our population. Most of our community health posts in the rural areas has been closed down in the last 10 or 15 years, without doctors, without medication, not even a staff in those hospitals.
Provincial Police Commander John Yara presented a vehicle to the Thalassia Rural Police Station Commander Sergeant Kevin Money and his unit to help cater for the ongoing law and order issues occurring in the area. The vehicle will improve their mobility to conduct operations and is one of the 2 vehicles purchased by the Police Department for Kimbe Police for the national general elections.
I decided to just go over to PSC. We don't use providing police service to the people of Thalassia. There's a lot of issues in Thalassia that we need to address in terms of law and order. Without good mobility, we cannot really provide the best police service to the people of Thalassia. So trust that you will put this vehicle into good use, help me cutting down some problems.
People from Poribada village in the central province blocked off the road at Maseva before the Roku and Poribada junction in protest over lack of water. The disgruntled villagers claim they have been without proper water supply for years. This morning they chose to show their disappointment to Water PNG by blocking off the road until the authorities addressed them.
For far too long, the people of Poribada and surrounding areas have put up with the inefficient supply of water in the proximity of their homes. A village leader, Seri Asi, spoke to the people, agreeing with them that the water pipe did belong to them and explained that he had spoken with Water PNG on the matter. He said the pipe belongs to them and accused the suppliers of making a revenue out of it. He said the actions that transpired today are right so as to get the attention of the relevant authorities because this is an ongoing issue. For the past 3 weeks, women and children have been fetching water in the early hours of the morning, which is unsafe. He later appealed to the women and the councilmen to remove the roadblocks and allow traffic to flow as they await the officials from Edaranu and Water PNG to respond to their request for a meet. A deadline was given for authorities to show by 2 p.m. today. They had planned that if that did not occur, the villagers would call on people from Roku and Ko-Derika to band together and shut off the existing water pipe until the matter was addressed. Police showed up at the roadblock but were told by the villagers that they would put up the block again if there was a no-show by Water PNG. Carol Kiru Jr., TVWAN News.
You're watching TVWAN News. After the break, caretaker government and lay soccer woman.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase easy pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSP branch today to register now for BSP Mobile Banking. BSP Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSP, our bank, our people.
Right across the nation, we eat snacks crackers. Emi trubla. All get a young plan alapun, only like him snacks crackers. Only make him here, no PNG, one time lay biscuit company. It's crunchy and tasty. It's irresistible.
Made only from the highest quality beef, oxen palm, is PNG's pride and the world's favorite.
It's the kind of magic.
Magic. Welcome back. Prime Minister James Marape has commended the United Resource Party for agreeing to have the position of the Deputy Prime Minister given to a Member of Parliament from the coastal region. He made this remark after Member for Ley John Rosso was sworn in by the Governor-General, Sir Bob Dadai, at the Government House on Wednesday. Rosso, being from a coastal electorate, allows for an equal distribution of power in the government. Distribution of powers in the 11th NEC Cabinet was considered before the appointment of a coastal MP as Deputy Prime Minister. Prime Minister James Marape thanked the United Resource Party, with the second highest number of MPs in the coalition, for agreeing to give the position of Deputy Prime Minister to Member for Ley John Rosso.
I just want to also, at this time, appreciate the United Resource Party, who were very gracious in our conversations this morning, in our meeting, in a typical Melanesian consensus style of leadership and leaders' discussion. The United Resource Party leadership felt that Prime Ministership and Deputy Prime Ministership cannot remain in one part of our country, it must be shared, and so the United Resource Party leadership allowed for this ascension of my brother, the Honorable John Rosso, who, for me, I cannot find someone more able to stand in the ranks as second in charge of our national executive to assist me ensuring our executive government is functional in the right mind, but more importantly, going in the right directions.
The Prime Minister said apart from the appointment of the Deputy Prime Minister, the 4 other MPs appointed as senior ministers represent the 4 regions in the caretaker cabinet. Soroi Ewe from the Southern region takes charge of Foreign Affairs, Commerce and Industry, Justice and Attorney General, Bougainville Affairs, Petroleum and Tourism. Ian Lingstaki from the New Guinea Islands region is in charge of Treasury, Finance and Rural Development, Labour and Industrial Relations, Immigration and Border Security. William Duma from the Highlands region takes charge of state-owned enterprises, mining, agriculture, fisheries and works and implementation. Meanwhile, the Deputy Prime Minister representing the Momase region takes charge of lands and physical planning, housing, education, health and higher education. Jumaima Sukbat, TVWAN News. In sports, Lay-based members of the PNG women's national soccer team were hosted a congratulatory cocktail function by the Lay Chamber of Commerce and Industry on Wednesday evening. The 7 women, including team captain Megan Gunemba, were warmly welcomed by the Lay business community at the Lay International Hotel.
The Lay Chamber of Commerce and Industry hosted a congratulatory cocktail function for the Lay-based members of the PNG Women's National Soccer Team, applauding them for elevating the nation and especially Morobe when they fought tooth and nail to bring the OFC Nations Cup home. Captain Megan Gunemba, her 6 teammates and coach Edna Thomas was given a rousing welcome at the Lay International Hotel poolside before they were ushered into the conference room by a Sing group. Captain Gunemba thanked the Lay community and business sector for the hero's welcome extended to them since they arrived at Nadzab on the 4th of August. She appealed for support for women's football, alluding to the massive potential that could be harnessed if facilities, equipment and financial support had been present. Her sentiments were supported by LCCI President John Byrne, who encouraged the business community to get behind grassroots sports.
And our women across the country are underestimated in business and underestimated in sport, and it's marvellous to see you girls turning the face of this for Papua New Guinea. So be very, very proud of yourselves.
Community leader and former sports personality Nellie McClay further said the province should set up a sports authority that would enable all codes to be monitored and bring about sports development. This was in line with co-captain Yvonne Gabon's speech during the August 3rd welcome dinner in Port Moresby, where she outlined that their achievement is the nation's achievement. Meantime, at least 70 members of the business community turned up to be part of the event. After the formalities concluded, the attendees were given the opportunity to take pictures with the players. Solomon Vincent, TVWAN News.
And that wraps up the news tonight. Remember to apply the following simple measures to prevent transmission of the coronavirus. Regularly wash your hands with soap and water. Cough or sneeze into your elbow and exercise social distancing. If you are feeling sick, please stay at home. You can also call the COVID-19 hotline number for more information or assistance. Pleasant viewing. Bye for now.
The TVWAN News was proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.